Ugh. So where are we going?
Gen Con, baby. It's hot as hell.
So we're making the classic sheet stop before we go to Columbus for food and then Indianapolis for Gen Con.
As is required.
Yeah, not a single trip goes by where we don't stop at Sheets. All right, so we just finished our stop for Bushi Tacos in Columbus.
Yeah, shout out to Bakersfield? Bakersfield, yeah.
And now we're going to Indianapolis and trying to get there before it's too damn late.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rush. So he doesn't think I can jump from here to here. So I gotta prove it to him.
Go.
World star. Look at that, I made it.
So it's finally frickin' time. We're in Indianapolis for Gen Con and it's tournament day. Playing some warcry, repping the shirts. Back in PA, got the sheets.
So we're back home, we have full tummies, and we've had some time to reflect on everything, and we just figured we'd go ahead and kind of just briefly walk through what we thought about, the convention, the tournament, and all of that. Overall, I had fun. Let's talk about the convention first.
Yeah, the convention was fine. It was like, compared to Adepticon and C2E2, it's not my favorite. Those are like high bars, but there's a lot of, the vendor side of things, that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's different. Like, they have a lot of vendors who are selling art and clothing and stuff, but then there's a lot of, like, the games. And that's really cool in itself. Like, always cool to see, and, like, it's a different side of things. I don't play a lot of, like, board games or even, like, other tabletop games, unlike her. So, yeah, it's always cool to see a lot of that kind of stuff.
If there's one thing that, like, I guess I could wish list for a con like Gen Con, would be like being able to pay for like a sectioned off area where there's like terrain and tables for whatever games you want to play.
Yeah, everything's like really monetized at Gen Con, so you can't just like, if someone's playing Age of Sigmar and they're like in between rounds, or if they like just are there chilling, you can't just be like, oh, I want to play a game with you. You have to like pay for like ahead of time to like get a spot to be able to.
Yeah, everything's an event. And I think there were free tables, but they were all snatched up by the time that I saw that was a thing, and there were very few. I think it would be cool if there was just like, and there's probably not room for this, but I don't know, just pitching ideas. Like if there's like 20 tables that are just like roped off, and to get into that area, you have to pay for like a little pass for the weekend or something, like a just open play pass. I would totally pay money for that, because we wanted to get in some games of like AOS, maybe even like some side warcry games to get some practice in before the tournament, something like that, but it just wasn't in the cards. There just wasn't really space for that. So that would be one thing that would be cool to see, like if we go back at some point. So I think we both approached this tournament in a much more casual with a much more casual frame of mind. We didn't really play test any before this tournament, like we did for Adepticon.
Yeah, I mean, this was the last like hurrah of like Warcry 1.0, so at this rate it was kind of just like, especially for me, it's like I threw a list together and just kind of went and played.
Yeah, I did my best with like a Clan Molder list for Skaven, which for Warcry is typically like the sweat list TM, but I didn't do like the the heavy Ogre dip. I kind of just went for crit fishing, and I just didn't hit those sixes, so it just is what it is.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed was that this is a much more competitive group of people, which was really cool. a lot of people that were there kind of knew the game a little better than I feel like the crowd where the crowd at Adepticon was kind of more just like almost everyone there was just like, we're just here to have fun. Like a lot of people there were like, oh, we're painters and we just want to play a few games and stuff like that because we don't usually do that. This is a little more shifted toward the competitive side of things. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was that I know that there were no allies allowed, but I think there wasn't as much list checking. I saw at least one person that had allies, and they had like allies from not only different sub factions with their Grand Alliance, but also like an ally from a different Grand Alliance, which I thought was kind of strange. I mentioned that to the TO. I kind of saw that person keep playing with the same list, but I don't know if it's like their matches just counted as losses moving forward or something like that, or how that was handled. That was a little strange. So I'd say it could benefit from a little more list checking. I don't know. Do you have any feedback aside from that at this point?
I mean, the Warcry tournament was fine. I probably like the Adepticon one better. It was like more fun. That being said, you know, it was still same old Warcry. It was cool meeting some cool people. We didn't stay for the whole thing because we had a 5.5 hour drive.
And we're moving tomorrow.
So yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, it was fine. Gen Con, that's kind of like the gist of Gen Con. It's like Indianapolis, it's like not really a city I would go to really unless something was there, and I don't think Gen Con's even worth it for that. Like honestly, I don't know. Gen Con was fun, but if it's located somewhere else, I'd probably be interested to go again. But I don't think we'd go to Indianapolis to go to Gen Con, unlike Schaumburg being worth it to go to Adepticon, as an example. So, I mean, that's about it. We're going to continue to do Warcry 2.0 stuff, Sigmar, Kill Team, whatever. But, thanks for watching, as always, and stay swole. So that's it. Warcry 1 is dead. Long live Warcry 2. Don't need these fucking things anymore. Good riddance, am I right? What's up?